Welcome to AI Brief, episode 111.
Hello.
Today we're going to really unpack some key developments. We got OpenAI staff pushback, a pretty amazing AI diagnosing tuberculosis.
Microsoft's recall feature rollout, that's a big one.
Definitely. And ByteDance's new model, plus a whole lot more updates and some trending tools.
Quite a bit to cover. So where do we start? OpenAI.
Let's do it. So OpenAI, we're seeing about 12 former employees, folks in technical leadership roles between 2018 and 2024.
Right, and they've filed an amicus brief, basically siding with Elon Musk in his lawsuit.
And their main point seems to be about the original mission. They're arguing that if the nonprofit arm loses real control,
It fundamentally violates that mission. That's the core of it.
it also seems to touch on trust, breaching the trust of employees, donors, people who backed the original nonprofit vision.
Yeah, and Todor Markov, who's now at Anthropic, he didn't hold back, called Altman a person of low integrity.
Oof. And suggested the nonprofit charter was just a smokescreen.
That's the quote, yeah. The underlying feeling is that keeping that nonprofit structure intact is crucial.
Crucial for ensuring AGI benefits everyone, not just, well, financial interests.
Exactly. And this brief, it could definitely add some fuel to Musk's case, heading towards that trial in, spring 2026?
Spring 2026, that's right. Now, OpenAI's perspective.
Well, they maintain the nonprofit is still there, still central. They're framing these changes as more of a restructuring.
Restructuring the for-profit side into a public benefit corporation, arguing it preserves the mission.
Right, that's their official stance on it. It's a complex situation.
Okay, let's shift gears completely. AI in medicine, specifically tuberculosis diagnosis.
Yes, this is really interesting research from Lausanne University Hospital in Switzerland. They've developed something called ULTR-AI.
ULTR-AI. And it's outperforming human experts in diagnosing pulmonary TB.
Significantly so. It's even exceeding the WHO standards for tests that don't rely on sputum samples.
Wow. How does it actually work? Is it complex equipment?
Actually, no, that's the amazing part. It uses long ultrasound images, but get this captured using smartphone-connected devices.
Smartphone connected. That's potentially huge for accessibility.
Exactly. The AI uses a combination of 3 models to interpret the ultrasound images, looking for specific patterns indicative of TB.
And the results. How accurate are we talking?
They tested it on over 500 patients. Quite a few with confirmed TB. ULTR-AI hit 93% sensitivity and 81% specificity.
How does that compare to the human experts?
It was 9% better, which is a substantial improvement in diagnostic accuracy.
What kinds of things is it picking up that humans might miss?
It seems particularly good at detecting really subtle patterns, things like tiny pleural lesions, stuff easily overlooked.
The implications here, especially for, say, low-resource areas,
Are potentially revolutionary. Think faster, cheaper, much more scalable TB screening. You could have a healthcare worker with minimal training use a smartphone app.
a real game changer for TB triage in many parts of the world. Okay, let's talk Microsoft. Recall.
Ah, yes. Recall. After some delays, it's now rolling out with their Copilot Plus PCs.
This is the feature that, well, records everything you do on screen to create a searchable history, right?
That's the one, and it certainly caused a stir initially. Cybersecurity experts were not impressed. Some called it a potential disaster.
Microsoft did make it opt-in eventually, didn't they?
They did, yes. But even so, some early users are reporting it still seems to capture sensitive information sometimes, so the privacy concerns haven't entirely gone away.
Something to keep watching closely. All right, next big update. ByteDance?
Right, the TikTok parent company. They've put out a technical paper for a new large language model called Seed Thinking V1.5.
Seed thinking. What's the focus here? Reasoning.
Exactly. They're positioning it as a competitor to models like OpenAI's O1 and DeepSeek R1, focusing on complex reasoning tasks.
And the tech behind it.
It uses a mixture of experts, or MOE architecture. It's a big model, 200 billion parameters total, but only about 20 billion are active at once, making it efficient.
And ByteDance is making some pretty bold claims about performance.
They are. They're saying it outperforms humans on most economically valuable tasks. Big claim.
Wow. How does it stack up against other models and benchmarks?
According to their paper, it beats DeepSeek R1 and slightly edges out models like Gemini 2.5 Pro and O3 Mini High on benchmarks like RCAGI.
RCAGI. That's focused on AGI progress, right? So, quite significant if those results hold up.
Definitely one to watch in the LLM race.
Okay, let's run through some of the other AI news hitting today. Meta's Llama 4.
Yeah, the unmodified Llama 4 Maverick showed up on El Marina. Its initial ranking, though, is below some older models like Gemini 1.5 Pro and Claude 3.5 Sonnet.
Interesting. And DeepMind, any updates there?
Demis mentioned plans to combine their Gemini and Veo models.
Into a unified Omni model, aiming for better world understanding. Makes sense.
Also, Elon Musk's XAI rolled out a memory feature for Grok.
Similar to what OpenAI did recently. Seems to be a trend.
And speaking of OpenAI, Sam Altman's been teasing major announcements starting tomorrow.
Including, potentially, a near-the-frontier open source model.
That was the hint, yes. Definitely something to keep an eye on.
What else? Netflix?
Testing an OpenAI-powered search based on mood. It's in Australia and New Zealand for iOS users now. US rollout might follow.
Find a movie based on how you feel. Could be useful. YouTube.
Reportedly rolling out Music Assistant in the Creator Music beta.
AI generating copyright-free instrumental tracks from text prompts.
That's the idea, yeah. Could be big for creators.
And OpenAI is adding some verification.
Yes, a verified organization process requires government ID for API access to future advanced models, limited one org per ID every 90 days, tightening things up.
Finally, ByteDance again, smart glasses.
Reports suggest they're working on AI-powered smart glasses, kind of like the Meta Ray-Ban collaboration. Details are pretty thin right now, though.
Okay, quite a bit happening. Before we finish, let's quickly touch on some trending AI tools people might want to check out.
Sure, we already mentioned ByteDance's Seed Thinking V1.5.
There's also AI HQ, described as an end-to-end platform for writers building and supervising AI agents.
Amazon's Nova Sonic, that's their new speech-to-speech AI on Bedrock.
And Gemini and Sheets, bringing Google's AI directly into Google Sheets for analysis and stuff.
Cider sounds useful too, creates interactive reports fast by scanning lots of sources. Good for quick research.
Voice Notes helps record and get insights from audio, like meetings or just thoughts.
Veed offers AI tools for faster video editing and creation. Useful for content, folks.
Simple AI lets businesses build complex AI agent applications without coding. Enterprise-focused.
And finally, Llama 4, Meta's next-gen open-source model aiming for better reasoning and coding.
Lots of tools emerging constantly.
Absolutely. Well, that pretty much covers our deep dive into today's AI landscape. Hopefully that overview was insightful.
We certainly covered a lot of ground. To keep up with all these rapid advancements, make sure you follow AI Brief wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you found this discussion valuable, please do share it with friends or colleagues who might be interested.
Thanks for tuning in.